Welcome back to Alchemy Factory, everybody. In the last episode, we redesigned the shop, reworked it, got our new setup going to have all of our items automatically stocked for us. We don't no longer have to go up and down the stairs to stock our shelves anymore. It's all done automatically. So today, I wanted to start working on Tier 8. Let's open up our research tree here. And if we scroll down to... What is this? Oh, this is new. That's right, there was an update. I just read about this. There was an update, and they added a few new things. Hang on, let me look at these. This update just happened earlier today. So there's now a drawbridge conveyor, which seems kind of cool. It says it's adjustable in hanging height. And it looks like it connects to a ceiling, if I'm reading that correctly. There is a retractable beam, adjustable in length, so this could allow us to redesign a lot of our blueprints if that works. If that's doing what I think it's doing. Retractable conveyor passage. A conveyor passage adjustable in length with a maximum length of 10 tiles. Alright, let me research all of these. What I wanted to get down to is Tier 8 today. Get started on a few of these builds here. We've got quite a few new things. Silver powder, silver amulets, silver coins and ingots, okay. Lapis, obsidian, quicksilver, and Aqua Vitae are the first few things. Eventually we're going to get to mercury, which is a new relic. We've got Panacea Potions, which is a new fertilizer. Wait, it's also a fuel. Wait, what? It says it has a heat value for fuel and a nutrient value for fertilizer. And it's a potion we can sell. Oh, that sounds cool. And then there's resonant catalyst. Okay, I think I want to go for Panacea Potions, like, as quickly as possible. So how do we get to that? We need... Looks like we need Aqua Vitae to make that. And it's using some items that I have not seen before. Let's see if we can get down and start unlocking this. Oh, I need a lot of silver to start unlocking these things. I guess in the meantime, we can check out some of these new items. This retractable conveyor passage. Let's take a look at this retractable. Now, oh! So we can make it any length we want, and I assume that that could go through the walls. Let me try that real quick. Let me place a wall. And then place this retractable beam. Wait, that's the beam. I wanted to try the conveyor passage. Where's it at? Because it looks like it's going to go through walls. Yes. Okay, well that's neat. So we can adjust it to have whatever length we want. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit to see how this works. Well, it says it's overlapping with another device, so it won't actually let me go through a wall with it. But I wonder if we could... Oh my gosh. Could we bridge gaps? Oh, it's... We can, but very short gaps, maybe. What if we put a floor here, like a half floor? Not a wall. Floor. Hit T to make it a small one. Now, could we bridge that gap with this? Oh, that's cool. That is cool. So we could actually... If we're smart about this, we could get rid of a lot of our cannons with this. Like, if we put the small... Yeah. We could bridge it right here. Are they stackable? Is the question now. They are indeed. They are indeed stackable. Well, that's really neat. I'm going to have to play around with that a little bit more and see where we can utilize that. I'm thinking it's going to allow us to get rid of a lot of these cannons to bridge little gaps like this where, you know, I leave gaps in the floor so that cannons from downstairs can send items up. So I leave a gap in the floor, and I'm wondering if we could be smart about that and utilize that as a way to bridge a lot of these gaps. Let me see if I can... Speaking of... Not enough support. Oh yeah, that's right. I can't put a floor there for some reason. Okay, so... And then this retractable beam... can go up to like 10 squares. It uses steel, so it's kind of expensive to build. It looks cool, though. So instead of the standard beam that we've been using in a lot of builds, which is a 3x3 that you can then hit T to go like different options. That one's like a, not a 3x3, but a 3x1, and then this is a 5x1, and then I think this is a 10x1. All right, that's really neat. And then you have like an 18x1, it looks like. So we've got many new options with this. That is super cool. And then lastly, this other item that we unlocked. The drawbridge conveyor, which I can't even... Ah, it attaches to a ceiling. Oh, how could we use this? It has got a conveyor belt, an input and an output. Oh, that is super cool. So wait, let me hit T to switch its form. So we've got a couple of different lengths of it, neither of which are a full floor tile space. But hanging stuff off the ceiling, I don't know. I haven't run into a use where I would need to do that or suspend things like that. But what if we wanted to like jump over something? Would that allow us to... Ah, we can adjust the height of it. Oh my gosh. So we could go over other machines and stuff with this. I'm going to have to remember that. Let's take a look. Oh, that is so cool. So, it's suspendable off of the ceiling, and then we can adjust its size, its width a little bit, too. That's super cool. Okay, so like a use case scenario for that would be like if we want to jump over a build with a belt. Like if we need a belt to go over this build and we have a ceiling above, we could drop a conveyor belt on top of it, connect up a couple of belts, and we could go over something with that. That's pretty neat. Maybe there's some other uses that I, haven't thought of yet, but today, yeah, let's work. Oh my gosh, I got totally sidetracked. I'm so sorry. Today we're going to work on Tier 8. Okay, so this new thing, Aqua Vitae, let's start researching that. Oh, I need some coins and Panacea Potions. Let's see if we can get to that. I'm going to need to grab some coins from downstairs, although I could turn in a little quest here to make some money and grab some coins that way, or we could just grab some off the belt. Let me just turn in a quest or two, get some coins off the belt, and then we'll submit a couple of these and see if we can continue this research. All right, I've got the Panacea Potion research unlocked now, so I guess what we've got to do is sit down and figure out how to make these. This Panacea Potion is made at an advanced blender. Let's grab that and put it down, just kind of get an idea of what we're going to be working with here. Advanced blender... Panacea Potion. So that is made from Fertile Catalyst, which we're already making, and we're making a full 240 a minute, full belt worth, and we're really not using that much of it. We also needs Blast Potions and Aqua Vitae. Okay, Blast Potions we are also making. They're on this rail right here, but we're not getting a lot of Blast Potions into the factory. I probably need to set up a new machine for those, because we're using almost all of them. Yeah, right here they are when they're coming into the Venus machines here. We're using pretty much all the Blast Potions we're currently able to make, and we're pretty much at capacity. We're using all of them, so I'll probably need to set something up to make additional Blast Potions. And then it also says we need Aqua Vitae. And I have no idea how to make that, but if we hit V, we could probably pull it up here. Where is it at? Aqua Vitae is crafted at an advanced alembic. All right, advanced alembic here. Let's see what we got. Aqua Vitae is made from Genetian nectar, a world tree leaf, and brandy. Okay, brandy we're already making. We got a blueprint for it. We're making it somewhere. It may actually be on the floor below us, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Well, we got a decent blueprint for it. It's just these other two things: Genetian nectar and world tree leaf. So let's see, how do we make these? Genetian nectar is made at a seed plot, so probably a nursery, from a Genetian seed. Boy, those are expensive. They cost 64 silver apiece. And we get an output of Genetian, the little flowers, and the nectar. Well, that's interesting. So we get 2 outputs, is that right, from a nursery? Is that going to be... Oh, that's going to be... That's going to be interesting. I've not seen that before. I don't have a seed for it, but let me grab like a 1 growth potion just to test it here. Oh, I could have just grabbed one of these fertile catalysts instead. We'll test it to see if there's any significant difference between the two. Where is this Genetian seed? Oh, it's back behind me. Genetian seed, world tree seed. Oh my gosh, 50 gold? Not enough currency. 50 gold. Okay, well, as it turns out, I've been saving money. Since we got this this fertilizer setup, what's it called again? The fertile catalyst, and we're running them through a dispatch portal, we've been getting tons of silver coins. The dispatch portal's just been putting them in storage, and so every so often I'll grab them, and I'll either take them downstairs. What I was doing is taking them downstairs and feeding them into the coin line down here. But now this coin line is staying pretty much full from just sales, considering how much we're selling now, because these Venus relics sell for 10 gold each. So 1 sale of that pretty much feeds the whole factory floor for a day. So what I've been doing the past couple of in-game days is taking them and putting them down here and turning them into gold coins. So just putting the silver into a storage chest, it hits a bank portal, which is turning those silver coins into gold coins, and out comes our gold coins. And that's essentially like 1 full chest worth, pretty close to it, of those silver coins right here. So we're not hurting for money, that's for sure. Hang on, let me look at that again. So we do want to test this seed here. But there was also that world tree seed, and we've got the money for it. I think, yes, world tree leaf. I thought I saw that when I hovered over it. So we're also going to need a world tree leaf, which I can only naturally assume means we're going to need to plant a world tree seed. And it doesn't tell me how to get it, so let's just buy the seed, because, I mean, it's almost certainly going to be planted in a nursery, right? Let's go up here and take a look at these. Select our seed. Chamomile, lavender, Genetian. Do I have the seed? I do have the world tree seed, but it is not planted in that. What is it planted in? Did I miss something? Hang on. Oh, it has its own nursery. The World Tree Nursery. Oh, okay. Whoa, that's big. Yikes. That is huge. Do we have to put a seed? Oh, we don't have to put a seed in. It just ought... You have to have the seed to build it. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so how does this work? Current growth stage sapling. Nutrient value consuming speed 20,000 per second. And next stage required value is 6 million? Oh, wow. Okay, so we put in a growth potion. We get 43.2 a minute of Genetian nectar and Genetian. Let's see what that looks like. So does that mean we're going to have to put a sorter on the end of this? Yep. And what about catalyst? We get 120. Okay, fertile catalyst it is. That's going to maximize our output. Fertile catalyst, and we're going to need a sorter on that to sort out the nectar. What do we need? We just need the nectar. What do we do with the Genetian itself, the little flowers? Can we sell those? No. Oh, end of day 231. We probably made buckets of cash. I'm almost certain we did. If we sold one of those Venus relics. We sold 2, so we got 20 gold today. Yeah. We are just raking in cash now. Money is not an issue at the moment. Although, if we have to set up a bunch of these World Tree seeds, it might change. Because they cost 50 gold a piece. My gosh. Okay, so yeah, we got to save up a couple of days to be able to buy a new one. But, oh, we're making good money now. Back to what I was yapping about here. What do we do with the Genetian? It says we can run it through a grinder to get Genetian powder, but I don't have a use for it yet. So it is used in a couple of recipes, but we don't have a use for it yet, so we'll probably just put it in a trash can for now. So something like, let's go with, let's delete it for a second and put down a sorter, kind of get an idea, a splitter, filter splitter. And then we set that to either the Genetian or the Genetian nectar. And then we can take the other one out. Let's just go with, let's set the Genetian flower to come out the top, like that. And then the flower will come out the top. So then what we want is the nectar. And I'm essentially just giving myself a little idea here what we want. So we want this to come over to here and essentially feed into this machine, right? Genetian nectar. And then we also need the World Tree, which I have no idea how much it outputs. Like, how much do you get out of this? I don't have any fertilizer. Let me just grab one real quick. We know the fertile catalyst is much more efficient, so let's toss it in and see what kind of output we get. We got nothing. Oh, but this number changed. Hang on, let me look at that again. So this number goes down as it uses that fertilizer. Oh, wow. And it has... Oh, the tree has to grow before it starts putting out any fruit or leaves or whatever. Okay, okay. So we gotta wait for this tree to grow. Oh, wow. That's different. Alright, cool. Alright, so I guess I just need to sit down and do the math on the brandy. We need 6,000 a minute to get 300 Aqua Vitae, and the Panacea Potions wants 480. Now this Panacea Potion, did I read that right, that it said it has nutrient value and heat value? So a heat value of 320,000 versus 24,000 on our blast potions. Are you kidding me? So it's worth, I don't know, 12 blast potions to equal 1 Panacea Potion? Wow, that's huge. Okay, so what about the nutrient value? 24,000 on that for the fertile catalyst versus 200,000 on the Panacea Potion. So that's, I don't know, roughly 8 times more nutrient value on the Panacea Potion. Wow, okay, but it is expensive to craft. Like, it's going to take 3 blast potions and 3 fertile catalyst, along with the Aqua Vitae, to make 1 Panacea Potion. Okay, I'll have to sit down and come up with the numbers and see how this can kind of balance out, because with this producing 300 a minute, and this wanting 480 a minute, I don't know if there's a number that is both would balance and be small. Like, I don't, obviously, if you could keep going bigger and bigger and bigger until 480 equals a number that is divisible by 300, but I don't want to build 30 of these things, you know what I mean? Something like 3 or 4 might be optimal. So that just means I'm going to need probably about 1.5 alembics, because 1.5 would be 450, and this one's 480, so about 1.5 alembics for every blender. So really, 2 alembics per blender. Okay. Okay. And then what kind of numbers are we going to need for the nectar? 30 a minute. So this put out, what did it say, 120 or something like that? Let me grab one more just to make sure my numbers are looking about right. 120 a minute. So this could feed 4. Okay, so let's start with that then. 1 nursery, 4 alembics, And the 4 limbics would feed 2 blenders. But first things first, I guess we need to get this nursery growing. Like, oh, I have no idea how much space I'm going to need for all this. So let me sit down and come up with an idea of how much space we're going to need. Do that first, actually. Something like that. That's 4 of those. 2 of those. That's not much space at all. And we do have to feed this brandy, so we're going to need a brandy build. I've got it downstairs. I'll just go copy it and paste it and kind of work out the numbers on that. And I guess what I should do is set this up first so it can start growing, if that's the way it works. Now, and then the question becomes, how much does it output once it's grown? Will we need multiple of these? Okay, well, enough yapping about it. I just got to pick it up. And then place it somewhere. I'm thinking I'm just going to stick it in a corner for now, and then we can feed its output onto a new rail, onto a new belt going around the factory if we need it to. So let's put that back down here. World Tree Nursery. We're going to need to leave... Why does it have 6 inputs? What is it? No, that's 8? 8 inputs. That's crazy. Does it need that much fertilizer? Oh my gosh, I hope not. We're gonna be poor. This is gonna break the bank on us. I have a feeling. If this is... Alright, so let's leave a square for inputs. And I'm just gonna start with 1. Right? Let's just pay 1 in and take a look at this. Okay, we're able to fill it faster than it can use with 1 belt so far. Alright, so then... Essentially, I would want to take the output from this, and we can just do something like this right here. Up 1 more, put it to here, and then put down some lab stands, and then we can send this around the factory to wherever we need it. Once it starts producing, I have no idea how long this is going to take, but this is the plan, at least. And I hope this is going to work like I think it's going to work. So it just has 1 output, but that 8 inputs kind of scares me. But although we were able to fill it with just 1 input, so that seems to be fine. Okay, alright, that's fine. Then the next thing I need to do is just sit down and balance out the math for the brandy. And, oh, blast potions. I'm going to need a new blast potion build. Yeah, because this is going to want a full belt. 120 apiece to keep this running at full speed. 120 for each one, so that's 240. That is a full belt of blast potions. And I know I'm not producing that much down here. Blast potions are back this way, right? Yeah, this is my blast potion build. So these are making 40 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4. So this is a full belt. Okay. So I essentially just have to copy this whole build from here all the way down to here. Oh, no, and that, because that's part of it. Yeah, and that. Copy all of that. Man, that's like half the floor print of a floor. That's half the floor. Okay, so that's essentially going to have to go over here. So I'll build that out first to get a bunch more blast potions going. Let's do that first, and then we'll do the math on the brandy, because the brandy, all we really have to do is pull... Well, no, we are going to have to set up a new machine for that, too. All right, let me sit down and do the math. Quit yapping, Jimmy. Just do the math. Oh, it started. Our world tree, I was not paying attention. I was busy gathering some materials here, has started okay, and it is putting out 80 a minute. Okay. It's grown, I guess. Is that its full height, or does it continue to grow? I don't know, but it does look like it's going to continue to use fertilizer to output its leaves. So 80 a minute. All right, that actually didn't take that long. Let me see. I am in the middle of putting down this build here. This is for the blast potions. I'm just kind of trying to get an idea of how much space we need. So I'm just kind of placing the various machines. There's part of it there. There's part of it there. And then I'll go downstairs, grab the next section of the blueprint, copy and paste it, and then... Oh, I went to the wrong floor. And then figure out exactly how much space it's going to need, and then how we need to route everything. So this right here is the last bit of it here. I'll probably break this into 2 sections as well, just so it is easier to manage. Something like this. This is the biggest part of it right here. Like that. We'll hit confirm. I gotta go grab a bunch of materials and a bunch more sigil stones and get this blast potion set up so that we can finally make some headway on this thing. Alright, so I've got my new blast potion setup going. It is producing another full belt of blast potions, which we are going to need for this, for these advanced blenders. And our world tree is growing bigger, but I noticed as it got big, it's changed its output. It's now outputting the world tree leaves and a world tree core, which I have no idea what to do with that. But I didn't want it clogging up my line because I just ran a rail around the whole factory floor here that our world tree leaves are going to go on. I had actually stopped it when I noticed this, and hopefully there's not any in this production line. I'll have to double check this whole line to make sure that there's none of these cores in it. But I guess in the meantime, we're going to have to filter those out. I did not know it made these, so let's just put a splitter on it, I guess. Actually, we could do it like this, right? And then run it through here. And then we want this to filter out the cores. And I have no idea what to do with them. But for now, I suppose we could just, well, just trash them for now. I don't know what else to do with them until we come up with a permanent solution. This is what I'm going to do. They're probably used to craft something a little later, so... but it's only producing 0.8 a minute, so it's not much. And like I said, I'll go through and check that. We do have our new fertilizer line, blast potion lineup. And we are making 240 a minute, so that'll be enough to fuel both of these blenders here. Now, the only thing I'm concerned with is that we're not going to be making enough world tree leaves to run this, because this is asking for 30 a piece, so 30 times 4 would be 120. We're only getting 80 out of this. It actually says 79.2 a minute, but roughly 80 a minute is what we're getting on output. So... I don't know. We may have to put down a second tree. If it comes to that, I suppose we can. It didn't actually take that long to get it to grow this big, and I have no idea how big it's going to get. And that actually has me concerned that it will get too big to put a wall around it and then a floor above it. So, I may want to go ahead and put one down just so we can kind of get an idea of how big it is compared to a wall. Oh, it's already taller. Crap. Yep, it's already too tall. Oof. Well, no, it just says not enough support. So maybe if we put down a pillar, we can trick it into having enough support. Yeah, okay. Now, is that going to go through the floor above it? We probably need to put this somewhere else. Maybe somewhere out of the way over here. If we build another one, that's what I'll do. I'll put it over here and then run its output up to here. And we can pull the fertilizer, fertile catalyst off of this line, which we're already doing. I wanted to streamline things and make things more efficient up there for our thermal extractors. So I started sending some of that fertile catalyst up there so that we could maximize all of our growth potions that we're producing to feed into the Venus lines. But anyways, all that is set up now. Now we need brandy. We've got the world tree leaves. We've got the Genetian nectar. We really just need to set up brandy real quick and connect all these up and see how much Aqua Vitae we can get. And I don't know if this tree gets any bigger. Will it produce more leaves? That's something we'll just wait and see, I guess. Because it does take a little while for it to grow, but I might as well give it a little more time, I guess, while we're doing this. We are running a little tight on space up here now, though, but we have been able to refine a few things, and so that means we can now delete some of this stuff and we'll have a little more room to build. Alternatively, we could always go up a floor and just move the materials that we need up a floor and then build a new floor above here and start working there. Something like just putting down some pillars, some stairs, probably right about here. I could copy my stair blueprint and go up a floor. I'm probably going to have to do that eventually, so I might as well go ahead and put those down now. Let's confirm that, rotate it, and let's see, how do I have to lay these where they just overhang that lip right there? So, like that should be for the next floor. And yes, it is growing through the floor over there, so I don't know how big of a problem that's going to be. I guess we'll find out. Let me see if I've got room for brandy, because this right here is pretty compact, but depending on how much brandy we need, let's see, 6,000, 6 times 4 is 24,000 brandy. Oof. All right, let's come up with a brandy build and see how much we need, and maybe we can squeeze it in on this floor. If not, we'll have to build another story and go up a floor. Okay, 13 is the magic number here. 13 alembics making brandy at maximum speed. It's actually 12 and a half as the numbers work out, but you can't make half of an alembic. You need a whole one, so we're going to be overproducing ever so slightly on these. Now I just got to find space to squeeze these in. They almost fit right here. In fact, they probably would if I didn't need to put a wall right here for the next floor. Like, this is my support wall right here. I was able to get away with it on this one. Actually, I wonder if we could, no, we're not going to be able, I'm not going to try and push the floor out further, because it leads to instability issues with the next floor. I'm just not, it's not worth it to try and squeeze that one extra floor out of there. So I do need this wall to be here. So instead, I think I'm just going to I'm going to put down walls and then try and just kind of scoot it up against the walls. And then I do want the walls with doors in it, so if I need to pass anything through them, I can. Let me make sure that's in the right spot. Not that necessarily I need to be able to walk through them, but oof, that's as far as we can go. Okay, well, that ought to work. But if we need to pass any belts through here, like, we're going to need to get fuel to these machines, so and coins for purchasing portals. So yeah, that right there might work. I just need to put up, I need to see exactly how far back I can push it. I guess right up against the wall and leave like 2 squares for belting everything. But I'm going to try and get this as close as I can. And then if we come back here and hit T, when you get builds this big, it tends to get a little wonky. And I don't want to block my stairs, so that right there should be good. And I got just enough room to access my stairway. Let me make sure. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It could probably scoot over 1 or 2 squares, but that's fine. We've got room to get back here to access any belts back here. Now for belts. I'll need a purchasing portal for coins to send. What is it we run through these? Is it coal? I forget now. Yeah, coal. So I'll need to set up coal back here. Probably just do one purchasing portal, because there's not a lot of space. So if we jump over here, we can just do 1 purchasing portal to feed them all. And then we'll just set up something that we can automate like this. I mean, not automate, but copy and paste for each one. And then this will carry our fuel up to there. All right, so I'm going to need a lab stand over these, and then just regular blocks will do. Put that one in, lab stand over that, and then blocks again up to the last level. Like that. That'll work just fine. And now we can just copy and paste this. Yep. for each of our set of grinders here. That looks good. I'll just copy and paste this down the line. Make sure I am snapping it in correctly. Yep, that looks good. Okay. It was just looking funny to me. Yeah, snap all these in, turn these machines on, feed them some coins, feed them some coal, and we'll get this brandy line up and running. Okay, I've got the brandy up and running. It is all fueled and connected. Now, we just need to take the brandy from here, feed it into these machines, and then connect all these machines up right here. So I think probably the easiest thing to do, what are our other inputs? The World Tree Leaf and the Genation Nectar. I wonder if we could squeeze these in right over here, actually. That's what I'm thinking anyways. I'm going to give it a shot. Let's just grab this build here and move it over here. We're going to need to feed it fuel. We're going to need to feed it the brandy. We can basically keep it pretty tucked in back here. Alright, so brandy has to come in back here, and we've got 2 belt inputs. One is going to be the Genation Nectar, which is just going to be 1 nursery with a filter on it. Something like this. And this can just sit back here. Somewhere right about there ought to be fine. Yep, alright, we feed that. We get the flowers out into a trash can. Let's see. Trash can is under storage. We'll just set it off to the side. Something like this. We'll take this belt, go into our machines. Alright. And we put a lab stand over that and lifter to pick that up to there. Okay. So that's one input. The other one is just going to come off of the top rail right here. So really, one lifter should do just fine. We just have to think about how these need to cross each other. I suppose the easiest way to do this would be to take it out to here and do a lifter for each one. We can copy and paste each one of these lifters for each one of these machines here. Oh, I missed one. That's actually in the wrong spot. You need to be right there, and then that one can go. Yeah, that's what we want. And then we can just take 1 belt of this output right here. Drop it down, and how do we want to do this one? Oh, I know. If we just put a block here and then a lab stand over this, and we'll just pick it up from here up to each one. And then we can just copy and paste each one of these. Pick this line up onto there, belt it across. That's done. Now we just need a belt for each one of these. And that leaves room for our pipes to get our brandy from right there to right here. Now we just need fuel in this, and I did leave a little bit of space right here for fuel, so we can just run it along right here. Output at the bottom. That's our blast potions right there. Now, ideally, I think what we're probably going to end up doing is converting a lot of these things over to be using this new Panacea Potion. So, let's run this out of square. And then pick these up into each one. Copy and paste. Just like that. Now, what's left? Brandy. So grab this one. I'm just going to lift it up and over everything so that we don't have any clearance issues bumping our head or anything like that. Up one more. That looks good. And now our stairs are going to be in the way, so we just need to maneuver around them. So I'll come towards me Not exactly how I wanted it. Yeah, like that. And then that. Will that clear the stairs? One more. Turn it again. Please don't connect with that pipe. That's not what I want. Right there. And then run that way. Perfect. It's right where I want it. It'll be below the next floor level. And I need it to drop in somewhere I can see. I need to be able to see. I gotta get above. Oof, get up there. There we go. Is that right? I think I want it one square over. Yeah, that looks right. And now we just grab it right here. Hit T, drop it down. Get in there. Oh, end of the day. That's gonna mess me up. Did it place the pipe or did it? Okay, it did. It was just saving. So the whole game freezes while it's saving. The bigger my builds are getting, the longer those saves take and the more lag there is. Oh, I'm out of iron. All right, let me go down and grab some iron. And there we go. Last pipe connected. That is our Aqua Vitae. Should be up and running. Oh, we got to connect fuel. Or fertilizer, I guess I should say. And our fertilizer is on that rail right there. So now, that should be up and fully running. Give that a second for the Genetian nectar to hit. Make sure I've got it belted correctly. Looks good. The flowers are going in the trash for now, till we find a use for them. And yes, those are spinning up. There's our Aqua Vitae, 1,200 a minute for that, which is going to feed 2 advanced blenders. Let me get rid of these belts here, tidy this up a little bit. I got a second. And lastly, we just need to paste these 2 machines in. What are our inputs on these? The Aqua Vitae, the Blast Potions, and the Fertile Catalyst. So we really just need to place them anywhere right here in front of these is just fine. In fact, they could probably feed off the same Blast Potions that is feeding off of. Although I do need a space for a second output of the Fertile Catalyst to come in. So if we leave one space for an extra belt, we just take our Blast Potions in from there and there. Is that going to work? Yep, that leaves us room for the pipes. So let's belt our pipes in before we, so they don't get in the, so nothing gets in their way. Let's just do them first. Come across. Actually, what might be easier, I wonder if we could do it like this. If I hit T, it might come out, and then hit T again to drop it. No, I gotta do it in 2 separate pieces. There, and right here. And now hit T to drop it into my machine. Yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice. Alright. That is our Aqua Vitae and our Blast Potions. Now we just need to feed Fertile Catalyst in here. And I wish I had left a teensy bit more room, but we should be fine. Let's put in... How are we going to do this? We want it to feed into that. Okay, that'll work. We'll do the same thing right here. And we'll just put down lab stands to come across. And then our belt will hit right there. So anywhere back here I can pull off of that Fertile Catalyst line would be fine right here. Run this belt over. Pick it up. And 2 more belts and we're done, right? Boom. That ought to be it. Once the Fertile Catalyst hits, there's our Panacea Potions. Awesome, awesome. Now, we're not making a lot. Only making about 80 a minute if the World Tree holds. It is getting bigger, and I'm hoping that its output will increase. So we're technically not quite doing 80 a minute because we're not quite getting the Aqua Vitae output because we're not able to feed it with quite enough World Tree leaves. But I think... hopefully this will start producing more. If not, we can just build a second one over here and up the output. Have we gotten any of these World Tree cores? We have gotten a few, and I have no idea what to do with these. We can't sell them. I suppose there's probably something... Ah, here, they are in the tree. Okay. Okay, so we can craft... If we combine perfect diamonds, a world tree core, and unstable catalyst, we can get sapphires out of a cauldron. Huh. Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah, we may check that build out later. But for now, I'm happy with this. We got Panacea Potions up and running. I probably need to feed them into this rail, send them around the factory to wherever we need them, or at least get them started going to wherever we're going to need them. With this being a fuel and a fertilizer, we could probably start changing around a lot of our builds to start using this. If it's as powerful as I think it is, what did I say, about 8 times more powerful than the blast potions and about 8 times more powerful than the fertile catalyst? I don't know, that means we would need 8 times fewer resources of these Panacea Potions. So if we're using, say, a full belt of blast potions for a fuel source, 240, that would only mean we could negate that down to about 30 a minute instead of 240 a minute. That seems pretty big. That seems really, really powerful. Like pretty much every fertilizer and new fuel, every time we get it, it's huge. It's changing. The game is constantly evolving every time I build a new fuel or fertilizer. But that is going to wrap up this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss a future episode. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. It lets me know you enjoyed the content you'd like to see more. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.